I think I think that Melanie is gonna end up with Casey at one point. Because Melanie already said like, oh, Casey is who she would usually go for, but she gets like heartbroken every time. Or like something happens every time. But I think she's naturally gonna gravitate towards Casey at some point. For sure. I think I low key wanna see Kenzie and Sincere. I think they would be a good match.
That's a good trade. If this was sports, so for those of y'all who tune in, we talking about Love Island. We just got done watching the first episode of Love Island. Um, that's a fair trade, but that's only if they don't work out. I'm not too convinced, just 100% on what Melanie and Sincere have just yet. I'm not all the way convinced, but they're playing it well. They look like the couple that could go all the way, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not. I'm just not fully bought in. Out of all of the matches, they look the most, for lack of better words, sincere or authentic. But that's not a bad trade. If
Yeah.
we going off of personality, sincere with Kenzie and Casey with Melanie, that's not a bad trade. In sports, that's a decent trade. You get a
Yeah.
couple first round picks coming in and things of that nature.
I think that's gonna be like at some point during the season. That has to happen. I think the bombshell is gonna go with Zach, the Greek one, who is with Kenzie.
Who was the other option?
Was it Bryce?
Bryce was the other option.
I think the bombshell is gonna go with Zach. I think they look good, and she has like the
Yeah,
dark features,
yeah.
or like it seemed like her features were in between like dark and light. So I think Zach's gonna mess with it.
That's interesting because I also said I feel like the other bombshell's going to get with uh
Uh,
track runner.
Beatrice.
Yeah, I feel that way. I feel that way. So that what's funny about that is if that pans out that way, guess who ends up right back with each other? Well, not with each other, but
Oh
right where they started.
damn!
They,
Yeah,
they both end up right where they started. If that plays out that way, which is interesting.
that would be so crazy.
But nah, that was an interesting episode. Now we just podcasting at this point.
Yeah.
Um, I have not shot in a podcast episode since when I was in Houston back in March. And if you look on the timeline of when I've released my last podcast episode, that was like in late May, but I shot it in March. But a lot has happened since then, man. For starters, I'm about to enter my final semester in college.
Woo.
And I'm about to be done with Towson University. Would you like to introduce who you are?
Oh sure. Hi guys, I'm Kalia, and I just graduated this May from Towson.
Maybe some light.
Oh, oof. Yes, this is good lighting. Actually, not gonna lie. Um, yeah, I was a middle school education major, so I'm gonna be teaching in the fall. Eighth graders, math.
Yeah. Just give it a second. Anytime the frame rate drops, just give it a second. It always snaps back in. Cause I think it's just I gotta really like hooked up to a lot of stuff. I'm gonna turn off my replay buffer and see if that changes anything. Cause that might help the frame rate. Cause I do have it doing a lot of things. The frame rate will get back to what it was. Anywho, yeah, so I'm on my way out. I'm almost done. I didn't really speak too much about spring break. I was on spring break when it happened. Um, and for better or for worse, it was a bunch that happened during my spring break. But Houston was fantastic. Definitely would do it again. Not for spring break, but I do see myself going to the rodeo again. I want to try that out again, and I would do like an IRL stream, or maybe even a YouTube video, or maybe both. In Houston, that was fun. I'll try that again. Food was cool. If you want, doesn't really matter to me. But nah, I had a great time in Houston, man. Fortunately, I didn't really get into any clubs though. I didn't get a chance to get into Sakai. I didn't get a chance to get into any of the major spots where like the streamers were at. I know the Shade was then in town for a little bit. I know that Duke was there for one day, but I think I got everything content wise I wanted to get out of that trip. And when I go on a trip where I'm actually about to travel, I'm actually about to go on vacation, then like that's exactly what I'm trying to get at. I'm thinking that's exactly what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to make sure that I get the most out of it, and it feels like an authentic vacation. And I'd say that actually happened when I did go out there, and I had a great time, a fantastic time. Like I said, in H Town, it's cool. I'd do it again, but the people there was good. Everybody was there trying to have a good time. What they did was where you couldn't get into a club because the lines was packed. And listen, when I say lines was packed like 2 hours before, they started letting people in. Lines was already packed. It was already a big roster trying to get in that joint. Crazy work, right? Crazy work, right? So, it was a lot going on. But where you couldn't get in, like, I'm going to give you an example. Sakai. When I was at Sakai, me and the boy Clash tried to get in, and we couldn't. It was just too much going on. We didn't even hop a line because it was too much. But it's so many people meeting outside, almost like a let out. Because everybody's just sitting there. And you got these cars, these expensive rentals, and these foreign whips and all this stuff riding through, playing, blasting loud trap music. Girls is twerking out the window. Girls was twerking outside the sunroof. They twerking by the car. And it's a party within itself. And that's just really how the fun was had. I didn't do any of the gas station parties, but yes, in Houston they was going to gas stations and they was tripping that out into a party. And it was like gas station parties going on. I hate how my camera's inverted. Alright, cool. But, yeah, it was inverted, bro. The camera was in... Oh, well. Talking about wrong thinking. But, yeah, it was gas station parties going on. Everybody was having a great time. I had fun. Clash had fun. We had our own separate hotels. So, that was fun. I'm not doing spring break next year, to my knowledge, unless it's like Miami. And if I go to Miami, it's to stream strictly, not even to get more content. Those who's been like sub to my channel for a while know I've done the Miami stream already, not stream but like YouTube video. Yeah, that's how it was. How was your spring break, Kalia?
What did I do? I think I just slept. So, I say it was good. I just slept all the time. That's better than not sleeping. Because I was teaching. Oh! So, because, I have an internship, I don't have Towson spring break. So, I was technically at my internship teaching 7th graders my whole spring break. And then I had, 2 weeks off, which was really nice, and I slept.
Yeah, that's interesting because that's like my mom looking for people to watch Amari when Amari is on her spring break, but my mom has to still teach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So not much, but it's okay because now I have summer and I'm going to New York.
Well, you out of school, so
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you teach at a school, so you really only need it when it's time for school. You actually still follow the tradition of getting the summer break.
Mhm. Which is so good and so much fun. Like I get to go watch my friend marry the love of her life in what, 12 days, 1.5 weeks.
Who
So
about to get married?
my friend Nia, she's in my cohort, but she's getting married back home in New York. So I'm gonna
Okay.
go and spend time with my family and watch her.
Okay. But yeah, spring break was cool. And now we in June. I went to watch that not Knicks, the OKC versus Spurs game, man. Spurs and the Knicks play each other in the final. It's a rematch of the 1999 finals. I find that really interesting. Ever since I stopped hooping, right? Ever since I stopped hooping, I haven't really watched basketball no more. But I watched last year's finals. Halliburton leading the Pacers playing OKC. Obviously, OKC came out triumphant on that one. I watched that on a cruise ship. And remember, I kept telling you about that infamous cruise.
Yeah.
Well, I would have been on that cruise a year ago now,
Oh
because
wow.
we boarded on the 31st. So that means that my first day on that boat would have been on the 31st. And this, for those of y'all watching, it's June 2nd currently. It's good because it's colder now.
Mhm.
But yeah though, I was on that cruise ship. That's a whole different story. I refuse to even try to get into and explain the bull that happened to me on that boat. I don't even think I really deserve that story time. Um, but
Wow.
yeah, like the finals is going on. I'm thinking about watching the finals, man. For those of y'all who got me on TikTok, stay tuned because I'm actually be streaming on TikTok exclusively the NBA finals if they let me. I know sports is kind of hard to try to pull that off, but we're going to try to pull it off though. We're going to try to pull it off some way somehow. But if not, I might do it on Twitch actually. Still don't quite know yet. But yeah, we're gonna try to pull that off.
Ooh, that is good.
OKC is eliminated. Uh my favorite player right now is Ant, but Ant had got hurt and Ant's not playing. So I would rather like to see Wemby try to get it. But I'm not against the idea of the Knicks winning a chip. When I did start watching basketball, the Knicks was booty. All they had was Carmelo Anthony. My very first NBA game was watching Carmelo Anthony and when they had Derrick Rose play together. That was a good game. They had won that game, but from as long as I can remember, the Knicks has been straight trash. They've been garbage. So I was surprised to see that they was really putting belt to ass this year in the playoffs against teams that were better than them throughout the season, and they trailblazed all the way to the finals. I was not expecting that at all. Because as you might know, I didn't watch not a single playoff game. Not until the game 7 of OKC versus the Spurs. But it's gonna be interesting. I will watch all of the games of the NBA Finals. But yeah, I see Wemby taking it home. I didn't see the Knicks play at all this season, so I haven't really seen just how nice they are, and I don't know who's really sticking out. I know ever since they picked up Cat was probably the best thing that they've had in a while because Cat is actually producing a lot of results and is helping the team out. Basically, the same thing he was doing with the Timberwolves, but he left. I would have liked to see him and Ant do more and then probably go to the finals, but when LeBron is done, I see Ant being the face. If not Ant, I see Wemby being the face because Wemby is a force to be reckoned with, man. Wemby is definitely one of them ones. But for this finals, I'm definitely checking for my boy Wemby out there to see how he's going to get things done. Because you don't ever see a really tall man do crazy things like Bobo or Like last big person to really get things done was Giannis the year he won the chip. Before that, probably like Shaq or somebody. But here it is Wemby is the tallest person we got right now in the league, and he plays like a guard. That's dangerous, bro. He could play the guard, he could play the big, but the fact of the matter is he's tall, and he barely got to jump or anything to like dunk. It's easy for him to block, and he's really agile too. And I think that's interesting. You watch basketball?
Um, Occasionally, like every here and there, but not really. I don't tune in to basketball as much as I would like football.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's facts. Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson is having a very big
Comeback, actually.
not comeback. No, he never was off.
That is
It's just
fair point.
he's just taking over like from the grave. He's crawled out the grave like Thriller, like the ghost, and he's like, no, I'm not done with the world yet. And the world has been on a Michael Jackson craze, man.
Yeah.
It's not really a celebrity that can do that. Once you're dead, you're dead. But for us to just go crazy, he has so many impersonators. I think Michael might have more impersonators than the Elvis impersonators. But
Yeah.
because Elvis only the thing about Elvis, he only appealed to white people. Michael appeals to everybody.
Everybody. He has a song about everybody.
Yes, and he said it himself too during his lifetime. He has Hispanic impersonators. He has white impersonators. He has woman impersonators. He has black impersonators. Michael was black. Like it's so many different variations of the impersonators, man. I follow Michael Trapson on
Michael
on
Trapson,
and he just had a concert with his knockoff Jackson 5 band.
Would you ever become one?
If I could dance, I wouldn't be like a full on impersonator, but like I do shows.
Okay.
Like I do a talent show. If I can learn between now and October, like Smooth Criminal, I do it.
Do you know Beat It?
I mean, Beat It's cool, but I want to do it for a talent show. Like to do a song like Jam or Smooth Criminal or even Remember the Time. That's like talent level.
Yeah.
Beat It got a small dance. Even Billie Jean got a small dance. That's why I want to do that. Thriller is cool, but I want to do Smooth Criminal if I was to do it.
I do have to say though, Thriller like comes back harder and harder each Halloween. Like each Halloween season year, someone's doing Thriller somewhere.
Well, speaking of New York, they got the annual like Thriller dance where they go in Times Square, I think, and it's a flash mob essentially.
Ooh.
It's an actual. You ain't never seen the videos of the flash mob?
No.
Yeah, it's a whole flash mob.
I want to do it.
It's in New York, and it's a whole flash mob, and everybody's doing the Thriller dance. And it's like a big crowd, like how it's like a big crowd of zombies in there. But speaking from experience, man, like I was there the day that Universal Pictures had dropped the teaser. I don't know how I found out. They was on Instagram. They said teaser from, because I knew that they was going to do a Michael Jackson movie since like at least 2024. Because they was like, hey, it's going to be a Michael Jackson movie coming out soon, and they're going to have his nephew play it. Cool. You see the nephew dressed up as Michael from the Dangerous tour, singing the Man in the Mirror song. I'm like, that's cool. I think that's really cool. And I'm not even surprised because I'm like, yeah, Michael's going to get his movie pretty soon.
Yeah.
But then in November, the teaser trailer dropped, and man, I lost my shit. I was like, this looks so good. And I used to, so we in November 2025, we used to just watch it over and over and over again because it's like, it got me excited that how they kind of like made a teaser trailer, but like they had the different songs and like how they kind of edited the songs into each other, and I'm like, it gets you hype. Like, ooh, I'm gonna watch this, and that's when my countdown started. A lot of people are counting down to like Doomsday. No, I was counting down to Michael. It hasn't been a movie I've ever waited and anticipated so long for. I don't be that pressed about movies, but anytime something released about Michael, I was all ears. And then my algorithm very early on changed to Michael algorithm. So um, when it was April, because the movie came out the 21st.
Yeah.
When it was April, how they had early releases. I was glued to it because I'm like, what did they show in the movie? I want to know what they did in the movie, and it was like I can't tell y'all because you got the embargo act where you're not allowed to speak about what happened until the movie is out streaming across the world. But man, like I was so excited. Then I finally look. I had skipped. I was supposed to be doing like stage lighting for a play. I skipped that shit to go see Michael. That was for a credit. I skipped that shit to go see Michael.
For a credit is so crazy.
Yeah.
I do remember you telling me.
And in every lifetime, in every universe, I would have done the same thing.
But I'm not surprised they came out with the movie because the teaser started coming out. But remember, before then, they had Michael Jackson on Broadway.
Yeah, but that's different, though.
Yeah, but, like, it was, like, Michael Jackson on Broadway, okay, right after. Because Michael Jackson on Broadway was 2023. So it kind of makes sense to come out with the movie and start filming, like, a year and some change later.
Well, the good thing about Broadway is you don't have to stop.
Right.
Hamilton's been out for over a decade now.
Oh my gosh, don't get me started.
So like, and they're still doing it. So like they're still like having the show be out.
Fun fact, I watched the guy who played Michael Jackson like on Broadway perform because he graduated from Bowie. And they had him perform at his graduation.
Might as well.
They were like, oh, our star pupil, our mini Michael Jackson. And he performed across the stage. And we were like, what the heck is this?
We're going to put this on record. Because this is going on YouTube anyway. This is my podcast portion. We're going to do Smooth Criminal. You're going to teach me the choreography. We're going to come up with the choreography together. Because it's going to be a mix of the music video and how he did it in his bad tour and how he did it in his dangerous tour. And we're going to mix the three to create a choreography. You're going to teach me. But this is on record. Once a week. We can start with once a week because you're a far drive. Once a week, I'm going to come to Hagerstown. That's how serious I am. I will drive to Hagerstown once a week. And we'll find a way. We'll find a place to do it. And you will come back here. Because at least we can
every other week.
Matter of fact, Burdick is open. So, like, we can
either
go in Burdick. As long as it's not past 7 p.m., we can go to Burdick. So yeah. Once a week. And we're going to drill it.
Okay.
Because we only meet up once a week. Because I'm sure you don't want to keep driving down here. Same way I don't want to keep going out Hagerstown. But
yeah.
We're going to drill Smooth Criminal. Just one song. But we're going to drill it.
What song?
Smooth Criminal.
Okay. Right.
So, yeah, see that, folks? It's on record. Now, where I'm going to perform it, I don't know.
It's good to have in your back pocket. Because, like, imagine you're on a cruise ship again and they play it. Mm-hmm. Now you are in the center of the circle. Mm-hmm. And you can bust out in the dance. And everyone's going to be like, yay!
I want to do it for the talent show, but I want backup dancers, though.
Oh, Lord.
I want backup dancers, so then we'd have to train backup dancers too. But you played a really big role in Fusion, and you still
I was secretary.
Exactly. So you when the semester start, you should use your powers.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, we always need service opportunities.
Well, I'm in service, so I need the servicing. So I'm gonna leave that to you to pick 2 people. I don't care who they are. But I need my backup dancers. At least 2. At least.
At least two. Oh my
And I want to do
lordy.
it for the talent show. So the talent show probably ain't gonna be until the end of October anyway.
Yeah, homecoming
Since
week.
homecoming is that week. But it'll be during the week. It won't be during the weekend of my birthday.
Right.
So it's June 2nd. That's a lot of time before October. And I want to drill. I want to drill Smooth Criminal.
Smooth Criminal.
So y'all see it, folks. It's on record.
We actually gonna start tonight after this, right? Right? Right?
Sure. I might need some water, but yeah.
We hydrated enough.
But yeah though. So yeah, man, I was tracking that movie like a hawk. I never did it with any movie ever, and when I finally got to see it, it was everything I imagined it to be. But I wanted it so much more because, like, he has his whole life to tell. However, it hasn't been a biopic that's been getting 2 movies. Michael Jackson's the first celebrity to get 2 movies as a biopic. I think that's so fucking dope.
That is cool.
He's going to get a second movie. That's so dope, bro.
Like, there's celebrities who don't even get one. Michael Jackson has 2.
Yes, Michael is getting 2 movies. And it didn't take them the full weekend for them to say that, yeah, we've made enough money to know that we're going to run it back. And they had 30% out of 100 of the film already shot. It should not take too long for this second one to come out.
What do you think? I think February 2027.
Oh, that's a little early.
Really?
So
they have 30%.
So look, remember I told you that I've been kind of like keeping close tabs on the Michael movies. This is one guy, it's like Brandon Talks or something like that on Instagram. He said that Antoine Fuqua, the director of the one that we just saw, he is also still doing other movies too. Oh, he might not start production. It's in development currently. He might not start production though. That's different. Where you bring in your actors and stuff.
Sets.
That might not be until the end of this year.
Okay, so yeah,
he might not start it till the end of this year.
So do you think it would be like
right now? They're story writing.
September, either September or
they said late 2027 or early 2028. That's what they said.
Oh my gosh!
I wish it was like how they did Wicked, where they already had the second movie done. It was like, we're gonna just drop this.
We
bitch
just gonna keep going. Yeah, I wonder why. Like, I wonder if they write like the first Michael and then stopped, or did they like write the whole thing throughout? I wish they wrote the whole thing throughout.
So I'll tell you, and I'm gonna tell y'all too. Antoine Fuqua wanted it to do one biopic. He didn't plan on doing 2. He wanted to do 1.
Right.
Now, I'm going to tell you what I've heard from different sources. Apparently, now this was kind of raised the eyebrow. He wanted to end the movie in 1997. I don't know why, but he wanted to end it there. So that means that means we miss Invincible, and then that even means we miss the beginning of him planning for This Is It.
Yeah.
So as to why he wanted to end it there, but he wanted to have like a 2-hour and at least like probably pushing 3-hour movie of Michael, but he wanted to. Here's what the issue was. He wanted to include. He wasn't going to shy away from it. He wanted to include the abuse allegations, but it's a clause in his camp, in Michael's camp, saying that not even Michael. It wasn't even Michael. It was the boy. That the boy that had the allegations on him. It's a clause saying that no form of media whatsoever can depict this stuff. So they weren't allowed to depict because what Antoine Fuqua said in an interview how the movie was going to start. We saw the movie recently. Yeah. The movie started with him, getting ready for the Bad Tour. And that's how it was going to start. What ended up happening was Antoine Fuqua wanted to start the movie with Michael. It's like in 1994, and he's in Neverland already because we didn't see Neverland. Right. We saw Michael living in Encino with his family, but we didn't see it when he moved out of Encino and built Neverland. This new movie will have it, but Michael's in Neverland, so he's like fully bleached out and everything. He's in that era, the dangerous era. He's in that era, but the movie was still was supposed to start with Michael looking in a mirror, and then in the distance you hear police sirens and like the full squad of police is coming to Neverland. And Antoine said that you were supposed to see like the red and blue lights flashing as Michael's like looking in the mirror.
Oh, like you could see the shot.
Because that's supposed to represent when he got raided in Neverland.
Right.
And he was going to start the movie like that, but then it was going to flash. It was going to flash back to like his youth and build up and all that.
Oh, that would have been so cool.
Well, think about it. I told you the movie was supposed to have a lot. Holly Bailey was supposed to play Janet. We were supposed to get some Diana Ross. A lot had to be cut out of this movie.
Diana Ross just messed up this. Like she.
But even with the Janet Jackson stuff, I would have loved to see Holly play.
Yeah, but I feel like because Diana Ross like had such an impact on his youth years coming up, and like that's what this movie focused on. Like her saying like, oh, I don't want to be involved in any way, shape, or form, cut out so much from the movie. Like we talked about, like we missed that whole Wiz era because she said that.
And we also missed a lot of his childhood. I feel like
it jumped.
The childhood was probably like 15 or 20 minutes total when we saw the movie. And you saw that montage when they were singing and stuff. Mm-hmm. And they skipped around because it's the beginning scene of the movie. Then it's the montage that take up a lot of his youth. Mm-hmm. And then you skip to when he gets discovered by, Motown. Mm-hmm. Or I'm sorry. Well, it's two montages. So it's two montages in his youth, because you got the other montage where he's a part of Motown and he's with Berry Gordy. Yeah. And then because his youth does have two montages, and then at the end of that montage is when they sing, I will be there. But then after that it cuts to him being an adult, and then you got the scene with his mother where he's talking to his mother, but like it's like a 20-minute part of the movie, but it would have probably been a little bit longer.
It would have been. I feel like it would have been a lot longer.
I'll tell you this: if Janet didn't pull out, and if Diana's lawyers didn't get in the way, we would have had a 3-hour movie.
Oh, for
it would have been as long as Titanic.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think we would have seen more of Michael.
Michael would have been 3:15, and that's without them going past the bad era.
Yeah.
So imagine it with the bad era. Do you know how long the original cut was?
How long?
4 hours.
Oh my god.
Because you have all of that stuff. You have the Janet Jackson scenes. Because it was only one sister that was in that movie. We didn't even see Rebby. Right. We saw only LaToya. Mm-hmm. But we saw no Janet though. So
I feel like at one point we heard of Janet, but we never saw Janet.
Nah, they didn't mention like Janet was like the real Janet Jackson was serious about like don't put me in this shit.
That's so crazy.
She was really serious about not being.
I wonder why.
She felt a way about her brothers telling the story, and even Michael's children, minus Paris, telling the story, because Paris and Janet were against the film. I don't know, but my thing is this. My question to Janet is, what didn't you like? Because they told what we know about Michael.
So it's like, what do we not know? And if you're so against it and like about like everyone having this persona,
because you gotta look at it from a narrative too, from a narrative standpoint too. And Michael has a narrative standpoint. Now, I did watch a Watch Mojo video that talked about some things that kind of ad-libbed a little bit, like when the scene when Michael Myers' character had called the studio and was like, "I need you to play Billie Jean on MTV." That was fake. Mike Myers didn't cuss the person out like how he did in the movie. That was fake. And also,
it's still a movie after all.
And then also it was a phone call.
Right.
But it wasn't Mike Myers saying, "Look, you better play Billie Jean, or I'm pulling all my artists out, and you can suck my dick."
It wasn't as intense, yeah.
Right. So that was a little bit ad-lib, but so was the firing of Joseph Jackson. Now I don't know how Joe got fired officially, but I think John Breaker did fire Joseph himself, but it wasn't through no fax machine. Like it wasn't. Joe Jackson wasn't playing the guitar, and then he saw the fax machine come out.
Sorry, but that was such a good touch, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and Joe Jackson then get up and walk to his fax machine and read, "Your services have been terminated." Like that's those things didn't happen,
But I wonder why Janet didn't step in if she thought,
because the brothers are all the remaining brothers that are alive minus Tito.
Yeah,
all had say so in the movie.
Like his nephew is the movie,
and the nephew as well.
The nephew is Michael at that point,
and same with Paris, because Blanket and what's the other child of Michael? Blanket, Jackson, and Prince.
Yeah,
Blanket and Prince also were on the movie. Working on it.
I wonder, I just wonder why Janet didn't step in and be like, wait, this narrative should be conveyed because this is my brother.
But my thing is this. The serious stuff doesn't happen until after Bad. With the allegations and all that. So, but here's what we know. Even when they make the second movie, they're still not allowed to talk about it. They still can't talk about it, so.
Yeah.
So, that's the only thing that I can see Janet being like, oh yeah, I need to tell this part correctly. But my thing is this, they're not even allowed to talk about it at all. But if you pull up a Google search on Michael Jackson and his life, it's beat for beat with what you can Google search on Wikipedia and what we get in the movie. The only thing we didn't see was a longer scene of the Grammys. Because I said I would have liked to see Michael winning each of his 5 Grammys. Yeah. Well, I think it was more than 5. I would have liked to see that. They show it in a Billie Jean montage, but they don't show him be like Michael Jackson win another Grammy. I would have liked to see it
the back to back.
But you do get the little insert of him holding his Grammys and stuff.
Right.
And the only other thing I would have liked to see was We Are the World. But technically, the time skip from the end of the Victory Tour to the Bad Tour, that We Are the World thing happened in between that. I think that was 85 when that happened. Mm-hmm. And the only other thing that was slightly inaccurate was how early Michael had got Bubbles. Michael didn't get Bubbles until 85. But in the movie, he gets Bubbles at 83. Mm-hmm. But other than that...
It was just as long as he got Bubbles. in the 80s.
Because the studio didn't know if they were going to do a second movie yet.
Right. Oh, that makes sense.
Because the way it works is you have to release the movie and they have to see how they do on the opening weekend. Mm-hmm. Which... They knew Michael was going to go crazy, but it was
true.
But for legal reasons, you have to be sure. Okay, is this movie going to perform well in the box office opening weekend? And obviously, it did, and they immediately say we're in production for the second movie. But that's how movies work. You gotta make your budget. So what you spend, you gotta make that money back, and then you gotta profit.
Yeah, you gotta make a profit off of it.
You have to make a big profit. So,
and I know they did. And now, especially if they put it on streaming services, they're gonna make a big.
Yo, I'm gonna buy the DVD. And I told you, but I'm gonna buy the DVD because I'm gonna watch all the special features, and I'm gonna watch all the deleted scenes
and the behind the scenes.
I don't care too much for the behind the scenes, but I want to see the deleted scenes because it's songs that didn't make the movie.
I would want to watch the behind the scenes to see his brothers on set. Or to see them
Well, some of that's on YouTube.
Really?
Jafar training and
oh yeah
and all that stuff that
them in the really watching it, being directed and such.
Oh, like the brothers being a part of it.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
That'd be cool to see see it in their eyes, them watching. It's like them watching Michael again. So
yeah, well,
I think that'd be so cool.
Well, yeah, you saw Jackie. He got emotional. Because it was it felt like he actually saw Michael on screen.
Yeah.
Janet did release a public thing about it, and she said that she was impressed with Jafar. I don't know if that equals to us seeing her in the film, in the new movie. Because at least in the new movie, because think about it, Janet's career started in the mid 80s. So that jump cut from that final scene in the Michael movie, in between where he was ending his Victory Tour and then the Bad Tour, that gap in between those years in between, because that's from 84 to 88, the time jump. Janet's career kind of started in the mid to late 80s. So it will make more sense if we see like a young Janet
like a
getting into her career.
Yeah. Young up and coming Janet.
But it just all depends on how Janet's feeling. If she has a change of heart, if she is cool with being depicted. But I don't know, because it's something that Janet's not saying.
There's
but
something.
But at the same time, I'm trying to figure out well, what is people have done wrong?
Low key, it's like, what is Janet not saying that's like depicting this whole storyline?
Because we only went to 88, so we didn't even get to the nitty gritty with all the super big rumors and anything like that.
So I wonder, like, Janet, what are you hiding?
Because the other thing is this: you can also argue how the movie is really resemblant or plays as a 0.5 movie of the Jackson 5 American Dream. And
I remember you telling me about
it kind of lines up with it beat for beat. It just shows more things that American Dream didn't cover, in a sense. So it's not too different from that. They didn't ad-lib anything that wasn't in the American Dream. They didn't make anything seem fake or inauthentic. It really did feel like a Michael movie. Okay. I don't think that they screwed this thing up. Like, they spoke on what we know, from his hair burning to the music video she shot, deciding to title the only thing we didn't really get to see was his connection with Diana Ross and how he met my boy Quincy Jones.
Yeah, but we did get to see like his live performances.
Yeah, we got some live performances. They told us what we needed to know about him.
Yeah.
They told us what we need to know about Michael in the story, but it's also things that we already know about the guy to begin with. But you saw the movie recently. What did you think of it?
I actually thought it was really good. I'm not gonna lie. I thought they captured a lot of like the little nuances about Michael that we love. Like the fact that he couldn't stop moving in the studio. Like I really found that like really entertaining. I really liked that part. His nephew did so good. Like he embodied Michael, especially when they brought in his monkey. I thought that was so funny.
That's the only thing I kind of didn't bang with, because monkeys are easy to train. They didn't have to CG the monkey.
I know, but I'm saying like
they CG'd the fuck out of Bubbles, and monkeys are an animal, like almost like dogs. Like you can train a monkey,
but like
they could have used Bubbles. Jafar, it's a picture of Jafar chilling with Bubbles that recently surfaced out.
But
like,
Bubbles isn't as young as Bubbles used to be. Bubbles is now grandpa.
But think about it. You see how little they had Bubbles in the movie?
Yeah.
They could have used the real Bubbles. I would have done that. Like it's the little things. Because it's not like Bubbles is stupid. Like it's almost like when
fair point.
Like if you watch the first Creed movie, right? Mm-hmm. You see, and it's the scene where Michael B. Jordan is making out with Tessa Thompson's character, and then like the camera pans to the two turtles. Those are Rocky's actual turtles that Sylvester Stallone bought when he first was doing the first Rocky movie. As like a little nod, just a nod to that.
I think they could have. I wonder if Bubbles will make a comeback in the next movie.
Well, like the real one?
Yeah. Because then that would make sense. So it makes a little sense to like.
Because Bubbles is alive and well. He has outlived Michael.
But I just think like his face talking about Bubbles, like, and he was like, "I bought a monkey." It was so cute. I love that scene.
Bubbles like boots off a door, man.
No, he was the boots to Michael's Dora. He was.
Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh. But no, I thought it was really good. I'm excited to see the second one because it left off in like a cliffhanger, the first one. But like, I wish we saw more of teenage young Michael. Like, I really would have liked to see Michael during the Wiz. Because I feel like we don't know
I think
about
they shot
Michael.
it.
Like, we don't know about Michael during the Wiz.
Well, that's the thing. I think they shot some of it, but
Really?
they just couldn't keep it
Ugh.
for the conflict.
But
They
it's
just
like,
couldn't keep
ooh,
it.
Diana Ross, what are we doing? It's literally like, bro, you
Well,
make
see,
yourself.
Diana is still alive, so she was able to call that shot,
Yeah, but it's like you make yourself look more guilty and guilty each day.
which is
You
true.
say no.
Which is true. But that's the thing, because you saw that since Anton Fuqua wasn't scared to speak on the abuse allegations, Diana probably felt like, oh yeah, well if he ain't scared to speak about it on Mike's behalf, he probably after my ass too.
Yeah. But also, all of us knew about Joe. All of us
Well,
knew.
Joseph is dead.
Well,
You
yeah,
know,
true.
but that's the thing. I feel like if Joseph was alive, like you better take my motherfucking ass out
No,
of this movie.
you're so right.
You better not have me beating Michael's ass in this movie, or it's gonna be me. I'll give you. I'll
You
show
know
you
what,
beat.
Jay? That's a really good point.
You better leave my ass. We would have never gotten Coleman Domingo at all.
No,
'Cause
you're right.
Think about it. If Joe Jackson was still alive, knowing what we know about him, you think that Joe Jackson would have been okay with him being the villain?
He would have been sick.
Listen, Joe Jackson was the villain of the movie.
As long as he gets his portion
No,
of the
Joe
money.
Jackson was not going to be cool with being the villain of the movie. They treated this shit like a Marvel movie, like a Disney movie. He was the evil stepmother. Like,
yo,
it was like, Michael,
who had Michael cleaning the house.
I'm gonna have you do this tour with the boys. He was like, I'm gonna tell Don King you gonna do the tour. Well, damn, Michael ain't even get a chance to say no. He's like, no, I'm gonna tell Don King you gonna do this tour.
Well, Michael couldn't even say he was tired without getting whooped. Michael had no chance, I fear.
No, Joe Jackson would not have been cool with this shit. He'd be like,
No,
man,
you're right.
man, fuck off, y'all. Y'all made me the villain of this movie. I made Michael. I'm the reason this shit.
He would have had a whole press conference after the.
Nah, his ass is crazy, man. He was promoting music at Michael's funeral.
So sick, bro.
That's why that scene when they was in the hospital and he was like, "Can he perform again?" I believe it,
absolutely.
Because we seen in real life, he was the only one calm when Michael died. He was calm, and they interviewed him too. It was interviews. It was like, like how you feeling? It's like, what? I'm trying to see what he said, because what he said was so dumb. It was like he didn't even acknowledge him as his son. He said, "The world lost a superstar. We lost a superstar."
Bro, you lost a son.
That's his sperm right there, and he's like,
that's
yeah,
literally
man.
piece of him, and he's just like, yeah, the
we
world.
lost a superstar. He's still thinking about the money, and then he was promoting some music or whatever. Because I bet you Joe Jackson had something to do with the creation of when Michael first died. Because I told you when for those of y'all who don't know, my very first time flying on a plane, me and the family, we took a family trip to LA. When we landed in LA, we checked, we left the airport, we checked into the hotel. And I was looking for cartoons on TV. All the families in one room, not staying in one room, but we like rendezvoused in one room before we went out for brunch. I'm looking for the cartoons, and on every news channel was Michael Jackson dead at 50. So when we landed in LA, Michael had just died that morning. Oh. We are from the East Coast. This is my very first time ever flying anywhere. We landed in the West Coast, and it just happened to have been that specific day, that specific morning. Because think about it. The time zone is different. Our flight was early in the morning.
Right.
Our flight was early in the morning. Michael had just died. Michael probably had just died and was pronounced dead when we landed in LAX. So when I got to the hotel, It was all over the place. Michael had just passed. For me, I was 7 years old when Michael passed. I didn't know anything about Michael at all. I never heard of Michael Jackson as a 7-year old because we grew up listening to gospel music.
Okay.
We didn't listen to anything secular
Dang, a
whatsoever.
Michael gospel album would have hit.
Well, I told you that. I told you.
You
I would have liked to
But
see
now
it.
that like I'm sitting here thinking about it, I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
like,
man.
That would have been so good, low key.
Yeah, but yeah, Michael had just passed, and but I was so infatuated with him, right? So, the video game came out, but it was a show that had his brothers in it. All of his brothers was in the show, like the Jacksons. It was a reality TV show, and I feel like Joe probably pushed for that to happen.
Yeah.
Cause you mean to tell me Michael just passed away? He got a documentary movie called "This Is It." He has a video game that just came out a couple years after his death, and a TV show with his brothers, a reality TV show about his brothers trying to, I guess, restart their music career. Joe had something to do with that. I'm sorry, but Joe had something to do with that. Oh yeah, we're gonna do a video game. We're gonna do a reality TV show with the brothers who have nothing to directly do with Michael. But they could have done a reality TV show at any point. They waited till after he died to do a reality TV show because Michael was attached to the Jacksons at a point in his life. Then they had to go ahead and do the "This Is It" movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously they did documentary footage of it, but I'm sure if Michael would have never died and actually did a concert, I don't think he would have released a movie. Well, I'm sure Joe had something to do with all of it. Oh, my son is dead. Well, let's see what we can make of it, man. Mm-hmm. But Joe Jackson passed away in 2017, so, and then Tito died in 2024.
Yeah, he just died.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, though, like, that's Joe Jackson for you, man. That's a motherfucker right there. That Joe Jackson.
Joe Jackson and Ike probably having a beer and. Let me stop. they probably shaking hands right now.
Did you ever see the memes? Did you see the memes when Joe Jackson died?
No.
I remember I was in high school, but I saw the memes, bro, and it was basically Joe Jackson with a belt saying, "All right, we bet to work, we bet to square one."
Please.
Come on, Michael, it's time to start training. Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
Because I remember when Prince had died 10 years ago.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I remember I was in middle school. I was in 7th grade.
How was you in 7th grade? Because I was in 8th grade when Prince died. In 2016. No, 15. Because Prince died. Because I'm going to tell you. Remember when Freddie Gray got killed by the Baltimore police? Yeah. And Baltimore had the riots. That was in 2015. Prince, one of the last things Prince did before he passed was he died in 2016, but in 2015 he did a concert in Baltimore. He came to Baltimore and he did a concert. But that was during...
Yeah, Prince died in 2016,
in April, yeah. I remember that because I was in 8th grade when he died. So how were you in 7th grade?
I was definitely in 7th grade, and I remember, like, my teacher going up to, like, another teacher came in the room. My teacher was like, yeah, yo, did you hear that Prince died yesterday? And he was like, oh, yeah, like, how sad. And we were all like, wow, it's so sad. And my friend was like, do you even know who Prince is?
I'm going to tell her a funny thing that I'm going to say on stream, but I'm not going to say on YouTube. So I'm going to cap it here. Like, comment, subscribe.